I always say that we're always aligning with energy in a sense, and everything is always synchronous and everything is always matching our energy. And so, but we only give credit to those manifestations when they're things that we want, never to the things that we don't want. So everything is structured based on our energy and our perception of life. So the things in your life you don't want, they're there because they match your energy, the results of your behavior. That's synchronous. People don't want to talk about, oh, synchronicity. I keep attracting bad relationships. Like, that's synchronicity too. And I question, am I creating this or just being psychic about it? Because a lot of times I just see things kind of line up like in ways that it feels like it was predetermined maybe months or even years ago. I've come to the conclusion after even learning about manifestation and law of attraction that it's a little bit of both. We predetermine a lot of things, and I think our soul consciousness is way more advanced than we think. And especially when we're having our sleep time, we're dreaming at nighttime, and we go back into the astral plane, we're rearranging our trajectory too, don't forget. So many people forget about what we're doing when we're in our dream space and we're sleeping at night. Where do we go? And so what we do is we actually go back into the astral plane. We kind of observe our trajectory, kind of say, you know what, let me put this in here, let me arrange this over here. So we do that. So a lot of times we think it's this universal law of attraction that's kind of attracting things and manifesting things, but it's really us that rearrange it, realign it in our sleep to then come into the physical state to experience it. And the reason why I'm so vocal and been so vocal about manifestation, law of attraction, because it's not necessarily accurate in what's really happening. And it's taking the credit and power away from your own soul and your own spirit and your own creation from the spiritual perspective. That you don't have to hyper-focus in the physical world to get things done. This is the synchronicity I'm talking about, that when you feel the calls of spirit and you feel the call of your soul directing you forward and you start taking those steps, you'll start seeing everything's connected, everything's aligned. And you'll start realizing that, oh, this is the essence and the true signature of my frequency of my soul. And that's when things start happening very quickly for you, right? Because it's all about movement. I would say when you remove something from your past that's been there for a long time and you get rid of it, you then realize how depleted you've been from it, and it's going to knock you off balance because you've been so used to carrying that heavy energy, and now that it's gone, you're like, whoa. You have to refine that balance and readjust. You're like, okay, what's my new footing now that I let go of that energy, that shit that I've been so used to carrying? You got to reposition yourself. You got to refine that new rhythm and find that balance. And a lot of you guys have been having that type of vertigo dizziness experience the past week or so. But it's preparing you for Libra season. As we know, Libra is all about balance. And so you're going to find that balance to create that movement moving forward. So be thankful that you released the anchor that's been there maybe a long time in your life emotionally, and not even just conditionally. Sometimes just releasing the emotional anchors create a huge difference in your experience moving forward in your life. So this is a wonderful time now to understand that's where the movement starts. And so this sleepy period that you're having, this kind of, I would say, is the calm before the storm, rest before the movement starts. So stop fighting the tiredness. There's nothing wrong with being tired, okay? Everyone thinks, I'm tired, something's wrong, or I don't feel good, something's wrong. No, we're supposed to have down moments in our trajectory where we rest, recuperate, reflect, rejuvenate. And I always say when we get ill, that's a indication that you need to rejuvenate. You're not focusing on rejuvenating, so your body's ill. Rejuvenate. And so many people say, what's wrong with me? They get so focused on the illness instead of focusing on what's creating the illness or the downtime or the exhaustion, and allowing ourselves to not beat ourselves up for feeling this way because we're not happy all the time. So we can allow ourselves to rejuvenate, take the rest that we need so we can prepare for the next chapter. Okay, we're not supposed to be happy 24/7 all the time. There's a dynamic, a beautiful dynamic of emotion and range of experience that we're here to experience. And so during this time, it's all about the wisdom of self, the wisdom of what's going on, the wisdom about reality around you, the wisdom about your own evolution, as well how it connects to the collective experience. That's the wisdom that we're trying to obtain here. We're not trying to obtain the wisdom of how to get things. Trying to stepping outside of the getting things and start finding ways to start feeling things, because you at any moment in time have the control and the power to start feeling however you want to feel right now. You want to feel happy, you can. If you want to feel like shit, you can too. If you want to feel joy, misery, excitement, you have the ability to channel the thought and emotion of what you wish to channel to experience right now. But when you start putting the conditions of what you need to get to feel those feelings, then you actually end up blocking yourself from experiencing anything because you're putting a conditional time parameter on things to say, I have to wait to feel this way until I get that thing, or until I get that relationship, or until I get the job, or until I get the money, or until I get the house. You're basically saying, I'm not going to be happy until I get those things. So you're basically saying things make you happy. So do you want your source of happiness to be from things? Or do you want your source of happiness to come from the source of happiness, which is your soul, which is your inner being, which is source energy? The happiest state you could be in is when you're in the most neutral state. When you're not like giddy for happy, all that energy, right? When you're just like neutral, at peace, a neutral vibration. Because I see people who are happy all the time. They're kind of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. They're out of balance. They're out of whack. They're always like, oh my God, oh my, it's like, calm it down. Like, let's get out of delusion and la la land. And there's people who are overly angry all the time and irritable all the time. It's like, all right, calm it down. Same like vibrational frequency, same fast frequency. It's just a different expression. So when we think of peace and calm, we think of a nice neutral tone that's balanced. There's a peace, there's a contentment, right? There's also a little bit of melancholy, not too, but there's some sort of a balance between the duality, and that's what we're looking for here. Because what you will realize, a lot of pain that you've been carrying is giving you that anxiety and the angst of having to do something. I need something to replace the anxiety. I need something to fill it now. I need a new relationship to make me feel better. We have all this anxiety and angst because we didn't let go of what was causing the pain, but now that we do, we realize we don't need those things anymore. That's where real movement happens. So you don't want to repeal and replace. You don't want to take a situation and say, okay, well, I'm in a miserable marriage now, so is there somebody else for me? I get that a lot from people. Not that I'm being judgmental of this, but I want to bring this to awareness so people understand that if you're thinking this, you're not alone. But then people are in a marriage that's not over, haven't divorced yet, they haven't made any decisions to maneuver out of it, and they're asking me because they're unhappy, is there somebody else for me in my life? I'm like, you may want to resolve and close this chapter before you start beginning to talk about that. Whether there is or is irrelevant. Is the fact that your perception of what you're dealing with is actually off, and that's keeping you blocked and stuck. And you're trying to replace what you've created from your past, and you don't like what's in your past because the past manifestation still lingers in the present, and you think somehow the future is going to wipe it out. And we're saying you'll never get to that future if you don't wipe out the past of what's in the present to connected or related to in that sense. Stop falling on your own swords. Right? A lot of you guys are just falling on your own sword, and it's like, why? Why are you doing that to yourselves? You guys need to be very hungry for getting that wisdom. You need to start looking at the structure and the mechanics of your own life. And we're so focused on the mechanics of the universe and the structure of the universe and all these different things. Oh, I'm spiritual. It's like, yeah, but what about your own life? You have debt, karmic debt that's built up. You have monetary debt building up. You have deprivations you're not pacifying in your life, but you want to be so focused on the structure of this universe and somehow that's enlightening you. It's not doing anything. That type of knowledge doesn't bring wisdom. You want wisdom. Knowledge of things is a wonderful thing, but it doesn't fix or heal what you're going through. And wisdom of self, wisdom of and when I say wisdom of self, I really mean the past, which includes your previous incarnational experiences and how you're evolving now and moving forward. And all that information is stored in your DNA. Every aspect and past experience you have for previous incarnations is stored in our DNA, so we can access those things, by the way. So the more we dive into meditation and learning more about the self, we'll actually channel things about ourselves that we probably never thought we could do in this lifetime. And we call it the Akashic Records. I always say accessing memory in our DNA to access our past experiences and incarnations to see the abilities and talents and perspectives that we've had. Because we've been there, done that. A lot of people have a fear of things for no reason. I'm like, that's fear from your previous incarnation. Dive into that. You're realizing the true aspects of self. And that's what brings in the balance. And that's what brings in the awareness of your purpose and where you're going. So you should be very wisdom focused. I want more wisdom. I want more ways to think better, to speak better, to handle things better, to be better, to express myself better. So this is what we should be focusing on moving into Libra season, and bringing that balance. So guys, rest up. Take the sun. If you're tired, stop fighting being tired. If you're tired, go to bed. Go to sleep. Right? Rebuild. Oh my God, I'm so tired. I don't know why I feel so heavy. Go to sleep. Go to bed. Right? Don't spend extra time, gossiping on the phone or hearing other people's bullshit. Go to bed. Take a nap. Say, sorry, I'm tired. Let me go to bed. Let me rejuvenate. Take the signs that Spirit is telling you. When you're tired, go to sleep. You need to sleep. So many people here complaining about being so tired. I'm like, just go to bed. Spend more time sleeping at this moment in time. Animals hibernate. So sometimes we need to hibernate, and we're always in a busy go all the time. When do we have time to sleep? And sometimes just sleeping at nighttime is not enough. Sometimes we need a minute weekend or a week to just like veg. Do it. Allow yourselves to do that so you can allow the doors to open up from your emotions, from your intellect, and you'll start feeling that movement because you allowed yourself to rejuvenate and relax and rest.